These stories are abundant. We capture them very rarely like this. We hear them. Our customer relations team gets calls. Our social media has them. But these are individual stories. They're not ours. And we feel very strongly about the fact that those aren't our stories, that we're a partner in that journey. And so we call them green shirt stories. It's kind of how we loosely refer to them, because they're those moments when someone makes a connection. And let's not kid ourselves. Retail and grocery is hard work. Retail and grocery, working in a store, is a lot of work. It's a lot of hours. It's a lot of our merchandising is moving tonnage, right? It's stacking them high. It's a very different language for retail, but it's a really relevant place, because if you can get into the routine of a consumer's life, if you can have them understand the relationship and understand the fact that there's no dumb question. Sometimes we'll just start a conversation with a customer with what's for dinner. Like, that's what we are about. There's a lot about this, and the seesaw looks different, I think, when we all put it up there, but you understand it's that advertising and promotions and brand love and balance and all those things. This is what you all are learning in school, right? But the reality in our business, and many businesses, honestly, is that probably 90% of budget is promotion. It leaves very little room for brand or for just brand differentiation storytelling. And so we've basically embraced the reality, and thank God social media has followed and led us in that space to be able to do it, where we just listen. We listen for stories, we look for stories, and we find them and interact with them. And I think that's going to be critical as all of you jump out into the space, and all of us in the room who are with brands, whatever that brand is and whatever we're doing, that we continue to evolve that. And that we honor that relationship. We know we sell eggs. I think I joked when I walked up here that we sell a lot of eggs. We sell a lot of eggs. We sell a lot of alternative dairy. But the reality is the egg is the egg, and the egg can be from anywhere. But it's that, how do you engage with the product? What is the story that it builds within your life? That's the important part. So we really put product there. We let our merchants deal with a lot of that. As marketers, we really focus on story. I'm going to switch gears really quickly and do a little bit of selling, because that's what they pay me to do. But the reality is digital is the future, right? We're all in it. No one knows a world without digital. We can't forget it, because we forgot it because it isn't on Facebook. That's a joke. So we know that online product research is happening up front. We know that people are checking prices when they're in retail environments to see if there's a place they can get it cheaper. We know they're looking to see if there's a coupon that they can download and put. That's sort of a reality. And we know that the engagement chain, at least in our world, pivots on guest experience, but certainly team member engagement. If we can't connect the two, if I promise something and something else is delivered, the whole thing breaks, because trust is gone. So we know that for our business, that all the way to the right, growth and profit, is really important. But the only way we'll deliver it is through connections. So about 2 months ago, we relaunched Sprouts.com. And this was an opportunity for us to really do an assessment of who Sprouts was. And we knew that in that bottom of that passion statement, there were 3 words: inspire, educate, and empower. Those are tough things to do in a weekly ad which shows the prices on produce. 88-cent blueberries is not really inspirational, educational, or empowering. It's a great price on blueberries. It's just not very inspiring. And so we said, what's a unique position that we can sort of celebrate and elevate the everyday? And what's the things that we can lead in trend? Because it's the natural food business, and there's a lot of trend in it. There's a lot of newness. And then what's unique? Like, what are the things that are scary? What are the things that are scary to those of us who don't know the industry, or maybe just beginning our journey? So we really laid down an architecture for the digital channel that was going to be about inspiration, education, empowerment, and we're framing that through a lot of support of Staple Trending Unique. A new mobile app with an integrated scanner that allows you to do things at the shelf. But most importantly, what we're finding is our consumers love it, because when the Fairlife milk is almost gone, she scans it, it's on her list. We're going to probably work toward integrating that into other methods of purchase, but right now there's just a ton of utility to see nutritionals, clip, find value, and really support healthy living for less, which is Sprouts' brand promise. Within each store, I like to point out the fact that we have a phrase we use, which every store has its story. And that's the truth. I've been to 100 of our 300 stores in 3 years. I just don't get to all of the stores, especially in markets like California where we have 100 in the state alone. But what I've realized in every store that I've gone into is that everyone's unique, and every one of our team members has a relationship, not just with the store and the leadership team, but with their customers and likewise with the community. So we have a ton of green shirting that we do out in the community under our vernacular of Here for Good. And that's really a reality for us, being part of the community and creating a place. Even before we have a store, even before we're selling said eggs and produce, we are in the community. So that's very important. And then obviously doing a ton of education, live education. I had the pleasure of attending an event that just this past week where we had a nutritionist who was a pretty great presenter and had a very lightheartedness in his approach. When you're used to hearing a dietitian talk, you aren't used to sort of hearing a lot of fun conversations. So we like to bring that brand to life through the people that we partner with and the stories that we tell. And finally, creating lasting change. This is a big thing. So whether it's local giving, I think $5.2 million, which isn't a lot of money to some of the brands I know present in this room, but for us doing that as neighborhood grants and putting those dollars out into the communities above and beyond all of the food resources that we share within the community in the course of our business, it's very important. And then global concerns around prenatal specifically, prenatal vitamins for kids to improve their chances of living a healthy life. That's a commitment of ours. Oop, that went too fast. So in closing, and then I think we'll have a little time for questions, and I might, if Rich is still here, since there weren't questions there, we can maybe just do a tandem Q&A if that's possible. I just want to put the challenge out to all of you because this is our passion and I'm here to sell. I really would love to encourage all of you to find that path. Find that place in your own adventure to begin the journey for whatever it is, health journey, personal relationship journey. For all the students here in the room, as you go out, know who you are, be who you are. I always tell my team, just be all you all the time with us, because I don't want anyone who's playing a role. I want you to bring yourself. So I would encourage all the students to do that. I would encourage all of you to find your place within the journey and then find the partners to go through that journey with.